doing the good work in addition to tracking the data of the work that's being done. So if you want to test your equipment to see how it can help on the ground, we'll be having a sortie tomorrow. We'll be discussing it at 9 a.m. We need your people to go out with your equipment, not just to send the equipment out. So we need people with your equipment to go out. Thank you. 9 a.m. Thank you.
Yeah, 480. You'll get to the 480. Tomorrow is the wrap up, the demobilization, the consolidation, the finishing of the things that you have started. Much has happened, much will continue to flourish through the rest of the evening and into tomorrow. One of the things I'd like you to think about early on is being able to take care of those who have been our hosts. The people that own this site, San Diego Fire Department, loaned it out of the goodness of their hearts with the understanding that we wouldn't mess it up too badly. More than that.
Oh, no, no. See, all of that and all of this. Oh, are you interviewing? I'm sorry.
No.
Just
finishing up.
I'll chat.
Chat.
Yay, more people!
That just matters from politics. Sure. Right? But it's not national. It's one more thing we think about, right? We had...
The room where the golf club sits.
Where the support is and all the equipment. If you're facing the bleachers.
We got it right here. You want to go right with him?
Yeah. And you need a socket wrench?
Socket wrench set, yes ma'am.
Oh my. If you want a live pieces of the only piece here at the World Trade Center,
yeah,
right there.
I see it over there. You know, it reminds me. I'm gonna go get some right here.
Socket wrenches are coming.
Okay, I gotta get these.
Apparently so. I need to go to the landing
Now, do these have to stay on, or do they come off?
Right. There were two that we got. One's good and one.
By the way, I couldn't hear you as soon as I got out.
Okay. Well, I kept walking out. Who sat in the back? Right, I mean, on the way back, yeah. I was trying to think who sat on the way back to see it. I think I just left on the back seat. No problem. I'll get that all squared away. Yeah, he is. He's, yep.
Good, hold. Ready? Okay, we're clear. We can roll now. Just push. Don't worry about it. Watch your feet step, lifters. Okay, I'm going to need the back lift in a minute. Just the back. Ready? Push. Back lift. Good. Okay, you want to back this side. Get out. Clear out the ropes. Clear out the ropes.
Said about 1992. These ideas that you could have a parallel existence in cyberspace has really taken off. And Second Life is an example of a massive multiplayer online persistent world that is so good It is being used for post-traumatic stress disorder counseling. It has developed an economy of its own. It has developed a scripting language that some of my intelligent friends on this subject tell me may well be Web 5.0. It is a remarkable thing to see. It has its shortfalls by the very nature of this relatively immature capability. But some of these alarms went off and we're late. And we will show that Kim, who is one of the best of the designers for Second Life anywhere in the world, and works with a team of people all over the world simultaneously to create this stuff, has built a Strong Angel website, or a Strong Angel sim, is probably the better term to use, right? We don't use island because that's an in-world term. But a Strong Angel simulation that is modeled on the Greek agora. It has Grecian ruins, it has the Temple of Athena, it has the Temple of Diana, it has the Parthenon. And in each of these places, on this beautiful landscape, you see places to meet. And the places to meet include places to show things. Inside Second Life, on the screens that Kim has built, you can show a PowerPoint presentation to people that have come together to gather on that internal site from all over the world. And you're looking at a PowerPoint presentation at the same time, interacting with each other around the world. It is one more level of richness of interaction beyond what many of us have seen in things like WebEx, where you have the ability to comment on presentations. You can also take streaming video, and I think we have 3 separate sites, is that right, on the island? We have 3 sites where you can have 3 simultaneous presentations or meetings going on. This is worth seeing. And I won't talk too much about the dragons. We'll see that. They're gorgeous. Janet Ginsburg was talking to me last night about the work that she's been watching Kim unfold. And she said it's a combination of a useful dream and she just peters out. Just a useful dream. So we will do a demonstration of Second Life on the big screen at 10 a.m. this morning, 10 o'clock, okay? I'll announce it a few minutes beforehand. We're bringing in a good pipe. We're going to have some people in from around the world that will be interacting with us on the site, and it might be kind of cool. John Francis, you wanted to talk for a minute this morning before I get into the rest of these details? Or do you want to
raise their hand if we had some kind of interaction? Okay, there's a lot of you that I need to talk with, and you need to talk with me because I just want to know your story, and so I hope you do that between now and the time you leave. What I do want to say is that there will be a survey on the site at strongangel3.net/ethics. And it's only 6 questions, and if you would just take a few moments to fill that out, that would help us determine the effectiveness of an ethicist and what the role really is and if it should go forward or not. So that'll be up on the web later this morning. Just take a few moments to fill that out for me. Thanks very much.
Thanks, John. Okay, it's time to get to work.
Right now, here is general. A lot of people, do you need to talk to Eric right now? Do they want to talk to VC or what? Hello? You could tell them they're doing a second live demo. Yes.
That's the highest scene right there, right? Hey, Susan, we get a second?
What we need to do is integrate this and instead of putting that basically coordinates into simplification, we get this like models out into representations that are supposedly real representations.
Suzanne, you're flying!
That'd be fascinating.
I don't know how you would do it in terms of this.
Pretty much idea. It's a pretty much idea.
What else have we got over here? Oh yeah, we have dragons. We did a few things just to demonstrate what was possible as far as detail here. So we have tiny dragons. And these were built the same way as I just did the only takes 131 pieces of virtual wood to make a dragon. Let's see. What else do we got? The dragon's face?
A very small set of data, stand up a Google Earth capability here on the site, not connected to the internet, with only a minimal amount of hardware and built from there. So, first of all, I'd like to thank a number of folks. I'd like to thank all of you for helping us do this. We have a number of folks that we normally compete with in the marketplace, and in the marketplace, competition is fine. In these kinds of situations, collaborations was key, and thank you very much, Microsoft, Esri, Intergraph, the list goes on, and also many of the other folks. I appreciate that. And thank you for setting up a great environment, a frustrating week, and a supremely satisfying week at the same time. And thank you, Zach, for coming out with me. I really appreciate that. All right, so let's step through this real quick. I'm going to run through this very quickly. We're going to talk about what we did Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, all in about 12 seconds each. Right, okay, ready to go. Monday. We started off with a dead server. So we had to start all over basically on Monday. We set up a second server and also set up a network and kind of a sharing place for folks to send information. That's good to see.
I love that.
All right, so
Monday.
That was Monday. All right, so on Tuesday, networks were still a little bit unstable. We fused in some high-resolution San Diego imagery, Kashmir imagery. We're trying to get a little bit ahead of the curve, understand what may be going on with the exercises that moved on. Beijing, Mount Marapai, a number of other places. We started to, once we got connected to the internet, we started to grab as much pre-built KML as we possibly could. KML, Keyhole Markup Language, that's the language of Google Earth. We also created a website, a KML client, and also a place to download our technology and potentially even upload other folks' data into our area, which was an FTP server. Wednesday, we started to receive some information on the Jalalabad imagery. Thank you, Dave Warner, wherever you are. We'll touch on that in just a little bit more in just a second. Let's see. You want to receive and display live feeds, a number of live feeds. All right, I'm going to run through this very quickly. Thursday, you saw the Yurt Village, maybe a shot of what could be if in case something happened. We dropped in all the SAN GIS data. more Jalalabad imagery. Thank you, General Atomics, for all the work that you helped us with live hospital stuff. And finally, today we set up the SSE feed with the help of Microsoft guys. Ed Jazierski and that team just what an incredible job to tie in SSE, RSS with SSE, and then into Google Earth in real time. And we showed that at 12:30 in the BTC upstairs. Are we back on? Okay, so we're done. Thank you very much.
Well done.
Networks, and had a great week. Met a lot of great people here, as did my team. Okay, so what were our goals this week? It was basically to create a data sharing mesh that allows information to share across a wide range of systems to serve a lot of different needs. And basically, what we did was great developers on my concept development team, as well as the humanitarian systems team, Ted, Robert, and Nigel. We had spent the last couple of weeks building out some software. One of them was a series of SSE relay servers that we could actually bring to the mobile relay servers that we could actually bring right here. That would basically act as SSE relay points. They could be out in the field, be here at the Ops Center, and also we have one running back on the internet on Redmond. And we also built an adapter to connect Groove to that system so we could have data flowing up into those systems. And our challenge here, the goal was to basically get the data connected and flowing through up and down and throughout the systems to actually try to make a difference here to connect people with information. What our lessons learned from myself and the team were, our first big one was occasionally connected systems are the norm. Some by design, some by situation. The other thing is variety of vendors and diverse systems and diverse platforms are also the norm, thrown together to solve quickly a set of really challenging problems. The other real obvious one that became evident quickly was that data needs to be shared up, down, and sideways. So, we have to connect and get people with information quickly. And how you need to do that is with agility. And that was the other real lesson learned here, which is the agility to adapt to the human needs, which are constantly changing, to share across system, across platform, agilely, and again, to be used in these adverse conditions. Some of the challenges we ran into is basically, kind of communicating the capabilities that we had to people and kind of working with the different vendors and different organizations to say, what data do you have? How do you want to share it? How can you connect to the system? Explaining to them how all this stuff works. But once you got it, they started to actually move along pretty quickly with it. And what worked really well, I think, as demonstrated at 12:30 was that we are able to actually flow data bidirectionally between a variety of these systems. We went through from Google Information Patterns, IDP, Adesso, Esri, and our friends out at OSI helped us on the mobile relay. It was very interesting. So that worked well. And the other thing that worked well was the use of common formats. Open formats, open protocols, RSS, GeoRSS, the CAP system. All that stuff is very, very important that we all have, at least we can agree on at least some of those key formats. And the other final thing I'll say, part the needs of an incident commander, firsthand is really a great experience. So our challenge is actually finding out where people were and how that information flowed. So, the who, the what, the where. So, and I thank you guys. It was a great learning experience.
And I
I just wanted to remind you that this kind of technology is very inexpensive relative to a human diver in situations that a lot of you would encounter when you're out in the field. It doesn't have a spouse and it's not litigious.
Collected, but when it's put together, maybe it's not the norm. And so we get to this point of ethics. And what is an ethicist and what is an ethical advisor? Well, for me, I'm not here to tell people, you know, that's wrong. You shouldn't be doing that. All I am is an idea to remind us that we are all ethical advisors. That in what we do, all we need to do is go from, oh, that's wrong, that's right, that's wrong, that's right, and then there's something that's a little sticky maybe. And we have to pull up our sleeves and think about what it is that we are going to do. We have to use our values and decide what's the right thing for us to do in that situation. I don't know if you decide whatever it is, if that's right. But as long as we go through that process, and that's what I see that we've been doing. So I just have to say that's a really good thing. I'm really happy to be here because I've learned a lot. And I hope that you remember to fill out the survey that's online about the ethical advisor, the role of an ethical advisor. We're all ethical advisors. And when we go to other countries, we have to realize that the information, the knowledge, the values that we have, that we feel in our hearts, may be a little bit different than someone else's. So approach people in other countries and other cultures with the same humility and respect that you would like to be approached from where we are. So that's all I have to do, and I just want to say thank you very much.
I said from 2 to 4, it's a little bit over. I'd like to wrap up, I think. Any absolutely burning things before we get some last words? Yep, somebody. How are you?
Very short. I've had passed around some paper copies of like an assessment form, and we're trying to capture a little bit more about what everybody's been doing this week. We have a great idea.
I want to thank all of you for your participation and your contribution to this event. It's really been eye-opening for me, and I think all of us have learned some things. What I'd like to leave you with is the Department of Defense is genuinely interested in working with and learning from all of the participants from all the different sectors who have been here today. And I hope we'll be able to continue and deepen this. At the same time, it's been, I think, important that the trust relationships that are so critical of this be built well before the crisis starts, not try to be put together in the midst of the chaos. And so some of the things over at Highlands and here last couple of days, I've heard some very good ideas about ways you might be able to continue with some exercises and events to focus on building trust between members of the different sectors. Another piece is how we continue these sorts of events without losing both the sort of spontaneity and the energy or killing the people who have devoted so much time and effort besides their day jobs doing them. I don't know quite what the answer to that is, but we certainly don't want to lose the lessons and the things we've received from this. Before closing, I'd like to leave with 2 cautionary notes, though. And that has to do with the comments just made about the ethics of the data. There's also an issue on the security of the data and the security of the information. We've treated a lot of this as though we're a relatively benign environment and that people are all working together for common goals. I think those of you who have been out in the field know that's not always the case. If you haven't read it, I commend Nick Gowing's study of the BBC, the Great Lakes crisis in 94, 95, and how information was manipulated one side or another for gold. You have to keep that factored in. So I'd just like to thank Eric and the Corps from Strong Angel, and Dave and the Satellite folks, and thank you all for everything you've done for all of us.
Thank you, sir. Well done, everyone. You hear the kind of things that happen. The week went from unstructured to a little bit structured, back to kind of unstructured. We went from somewhat uncoordinated in our relationships with each other to a pretty damn good party last night. And I saw sleepy faces today. That's good. That's very nice. Thank you for cleaning up after you. Thank you for coming. Farewell.